Well, they lost two offensive linemen in Thayer Munford and Nicholas Petit-Friere. Those are two substantial losses. Sue is asking if the offensive line is going to be better this year.
Well, I mean, I guess it's what is your definition of better? I mean, they made improvements in terms of not allowing sacks, but we saw, we didn't see a great run pass equality there in terms of results. So, you have a new offensive line coach in Justin Frye, and, I think we're going to see some different things there. But the passing game was so prolific. I mean, 95% of the time it all worked out fine, but the one time when they needed to be able to control the ball on the ground, really in the Michigan game, they couldn't do it. So I think that we're going to see a lot of the same faces. Obviously MPF and Thayer are going to be gone. You're going to move Paris Johnson outside, you're going to have DeWand at the other tackle, Luke Whippler at center, you're going to have probably Donovan Jackson and Matt Jones at guards. I mean, we're gonna see quickly what Justin Frye is all about, what it is that they're going to be about doing. I mean, let's not forget that the offensive line was a semifinalist for the Joe Moore Award, which goes to the nation's top offensive line. But I think when it kind of came down to it, they got exposed a little bit in the Michigan game, and I think that we saw some schematic issues there. So, I think that we could see an offensive line that could have some more success. I think we're definitely going to see an offensive line that's going to be a little better suited in terms of run blocking. It certainly helps when you have a second-year starter in C.J. Stroud, a guy that finished fourth in the Heisman voting, a guy that's hungry, a guy that probably felt a little disrespected in terms of how all that went down, certainly felt disrespected in terms of some of the on-stage shenanigans that went on with one Desmond Howard. You just kind of go on from there. But yeah, sure, I think we could see a little bit more success.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good offensive line. I mean, you can't make a determination whether it'll be better or worse until after the season's over. I mean, that offensive line, to my way of thinking, was very good. Just in a couple of the games where they absolutely needed to run the football, they just couldn't do it. And yet they were outstanding pass protectors, and they threw for 1 million yards, and I don't know. I guess wins and losses is what determines how good a unit might be, just as well as anything else. And the losses didn't match up with how great that offensive line seemed to be. So again, it'll be different. It'll be a different kind of an offensive line because you won't have tackles playing the guard positions. You'll have, guys who are probably better suited to play the guard positions at guard, with Matthew Jones probably on one side. Harry Miller is not going to be in spring practice. It sounds like Josh Fryer is not going to be in spring practice. So those are two guys that you thought might be in the running to help out. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Paris Johnson obviously moving from a guard to a tackle spot. The other guard position maybe goes to Donovan Jackson at this point. I don't really have a strong candidate with Harry Miller out. He would probably be the next one up. Matthew Jones might be the next one up at center if something were to happen to Luke Whippler. But that looks like it's going to be Luke Whippler again at center because Harry Miller's not fighting for that job either. Jacob James is a guy that they said yesterday would be maybe a backup center. Toby Wilson, walk-on, the son of Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator, also in the running there at center as a backup probably. But if something were to happen, I presume Matthew Jones would play, and then maybe they put somebody else in at guard. I don't know. But, Enoch Vamahi is a veteran guy that has never really gotten much of an opportunity, a fourth-year junior. You got a lot of guys who are getting older on that offensive line that have never really gotten a chance to play. So you got a list of them, that are probably antsy to get a chance to break in there. So they'll have their chance this spring because Fryer's not there to take reps, and neither is Harry Miller. So somebody's got to fill those spots this spring in the two deep and take all those reps when they get into 11 on 11 and different situations like that. So the coaches are going to have a tremendous opportunity this spring to assess all of those offensive linemen in 11 on 11 and scrimmage situations and figure out who can go and who can't and who's going to rep in the fall. And I think Justin Frye coming in with a new set of eyes and not relying so much on what was done in the past, I think it'll work. Kevin Wilson talked about how the offense is a collaboration with himself and Brian Hartline and Tony Alford and Ryan Day and Corey Dennis and also Justin Frye, the 5 or 6 of them all putting their heads together and coming up with what are the best ways to attack opposing defenses. So he said this is the fun time of the year where they can experiment a little bit, put stuff on a dry erase board, teach it, and take it out to the practice field and see if the guys, if it's something that makes the keeper file or if it goes into the dumper. So this is that fun time of the year, I guess, in the spring where, there's no game coming up this Saturday, so you can work on things a little bit.